Hello everyone and welcome to UK Foundations. I am Uthara Adithi and today we'll be solving the rest of the MCQ questions of metals and non-metals chapter. So the previous video where we had acid bases and salts along with metals and non-metals we completed up to 15th question. Now we'll be continuing it with the 16th question. So let's begin. If copper is kept open in air, it slowly loses its shining brown surface and gains a green coating, right? It is due to the formation of what? Okay, so usually what happens to copper when left in air? You must have observed this. The copper will react with the oxygen in air and it's going to form a layer which is green in color. Okay, so nowadays people are using a lot of copper utensils, right? So there you'll see a lot of this phenomenon occurring where you just don't use it and the copper over there reacts with oxygen and air to form copper oxide. Okay, so if you have to balance it, then it's fourth option. Okay, right. Generally, metals are in solid state, yes, in nature. Which one of the following metals is found in liquid state at room temperature, right? You have to see the one which is found in liquid state. Is it sodium, is it iron, is it chromium, or is it mercury? Mercury, of course, it's mercury because you would have seen it in thermometers, right? Previously, when we use it, it is in liquid state. Yeah. So, which of the following metals are obtained by electrolysis of their chlorides in molten state? I have explained about this in the previous video as well, that the ones that are highly reactive, okay, that are highly reactive can be obtained by this method. So if you see in that way, sodium, calcium, iron, and copper. Sodium and calcium are highly reactive as compared to rest of them. So it's 1 and 2, which is given in the fourth option, right? Yeah, generally non-metals are not lustrous, right? The property of being lustrous is of metals. So which of the following non-metals is lustrous? Is it sulfur, is it oxygen, is it nitrogen, is it iron? It's iron, of course, right? Iron, you'll get it in it's you can find it in a color of violet-ish magenta color, and at times when you do starch test, okay, there you'll get it in more towards of the bluish black, right? Bluish black range you'll get it most of while doing the starch test. So yeah, you can tell that it's colored in this color, but yeah, it is lustrous as well. Okay, next, which one of the following four metals would be displaced from the solution of its salt by other three metals? Is it magnesium, silver, zinc, or copper? So I'm pretty sure you'll be knowing the reactivity series, right? Yeah, so please stop calling me a careless zebra. Instead, try learning how copper saves, right? Gold. Yeah, all of them will have their own mnemonics. So this is one type of that. Okay, so which would be displaced by rest of the three? That means it should be least reactive, right? Magnesium is here, silver is here, zinc is right here, and copper is here. So if you see the least reactive one, it is your silver. It's B. Okay, next. 2 ml each of concentrated HCl and HNO3 and a mixture of concentrated HCl and concentrated HNO3 in the ratio of 3:1 were taken in a test tube labeled A, B, and C. Alright, a small piece of metal was put in each test tube. No change occurred in A and B, but the metal got dissolved in test tube C. So the metal could be. So of course, without thinking, with HCl and HNO3, it is basically that the solution is aqua regia. What dissolves in aqua regia? It's gold, right? Gold dissolves in aqua regia. Yeah. So rest of them, they're just telling they're taking three test tubes A, B, and C. A, B, and C. In A, you're just what you're taking. You're just taking HCl, then you're just taking HNO3, then you're taking a mixture of both. So of course it'll be in this only, not in this and not in this. It's gonna dissolve. So yeah. Okay. Now, 22. An alloy is it an element? Is it a compound? Is it a homogeneous mixture or an heterogeneous mixture? It is actually a homogeneous mixture. Okay, homogeneous mixture also refers to a uniform type of mixture. Okay, so yeah, uniformly distributed substances, and yeah, the composition is uniform. Okay, 23rd. An electrolytic cell consists of an electrolytic cell. If you see, actually, how do we do this is we know what is cation and anion, correct? There are high chances that we get confused because of this. A cation is positively charged and an anion is negatively charged. So because of this, you'll just mark this and this, but it's wrong. Why? Because you can remember like the cathode attracts a cation, that's why it's named as cathode. Okay, so if it's attracting a positive charge, then which charge should it be in? It should be negative charge. I'll repeat it. Cathode being negative can only attract the positive. Both are positive, then it cannot attract the positive charge back. Okay, so it is negatively charged. Likely because anode attracts anion, that's why it's named anode. So if it's attracting a negative charge, it itself should have a positive charge. So 3 and 4 are correct, and that is this option. Second option? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. During electrolytic refining of zinc, it gets deposited in cathode or anode, deposited on both, and remains in the solution. Okay. Let's see. Zinc is having plus to charge. Basically, it's positive charge, positively charged. So, the positively charged, you can either think that this is a cation. So, it will go towards which side? It will go to the cathode. It will be deposited on the cathode side, right? So cation is attracted by cathode, that's why it's named as cathode. Okay, yeah. Now an element A is soft, can be cut with a knife. This is very reactive to air, cannot be kept in open, and it reacts vigorously with water. Identify this one. So if you see, the one that is soft and can be cut with knife is the property of one such metal which is called sodium. Sodium, it can easily be cut with knife. Okay, so yes. Next, moving to the 26th question. Alloys are homogeneous mixtures of a metal with a metal or a non-metal with a non-metal. Yes, so it's a homogeneous mixture as I said previously. Which among the following alloys contain non-metal as one of its constituents? Okay, non-metal. Is it brass? Is it bronze? Is it amalgam? Is it steel? Okay. If you see steel, basically, it has one of its component as one component as what? As carbon. So I think you all know that carbon is a non-metal, right? This is a non-metal. That's what is asked. So it's option D. Okay. So carbon is a non-metal. Acha. Now, which among the following statements is incorrect for magnesium metal? Right. It burns in oxygen with a dazzling white flame. Yes, this is true. I think this is your first activity of the first chapter. Yeah. Yes. It reacts with cold water to form magnesium oxide and evolves hydrogen gas. It reacts with hot water to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. It reacts with steam to form hydrogen oxide and evolves hydrogen gas. So this is clear that it's option B. But suppose you're confused in between these three. Okay. So just we'll have just a trick to solve this. See, if it is reacting with steam, okay. See, any metal which can react with cold water can react even with hot water and steam. This is clear, right? Yeah. So if it can, this is there. If it cannot react with cold water and if it can react with hot water, then it can react also with steam. Okay. And if it can't react with this and this, then it can react only with this. There are possibilities that it can't react with either of them. Okay. So now if you see, if it reacts with only steam, okay, if it can react with only steam, then both this case and this case are wrong. That means both B and C should be wrong. But is there any condition for it to be wrong at both of them? No. So that's one way that you can choose cold water, simple method. Okay, or if it can react with hot water. Okay, if it can react with hot water, of course it can react with steam also. Then it should be both C and D. Is that possible? No, that is also not possible. So the only cases where it can react with cold water. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, that was the thing. Just a minute. Mm. Which among the following alloys contain mercury as one of its constituents? Mercury. Any kind of alloy with mercury has the name along with it amalgam. Okay, zinc amalgam. This is the answer. Okay, yes. Yeah. Next, 29th question. Reaction between X and Y forms Z. X loses the electron and Y gains the electron. So X and Y, X is donating the electron as such. Which of the following properties is not shown by Z? So such a type of bond is called as an ionic bond, or the compound formed will be ionic in nature. They'll have high melting point, yes. They'll have low melting point, nope. Conducts electricity in molten state is correct, not in solid state. Okay, and occurs as solid, yes, because there is strong force of attraction. Okay, so B is wrong. There was not shown itself. Okay, next, 30th one. The electronic configuration of three elements X, Y, and Z are this, and this. Okay, which of the following is correct? So let's just decode. What is X? 2 and 8. So 2 plus 8 is 10. The 10th element is neon. Okay, and Y is what? 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 plus 7 is 17. So it's chlorine. And Z. 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 is magnesium. Okay, so now which of the following is correct? X is a metal. Is X a metal? Wrong. Okay, is Y a metal? Nope. Is Z a non-metal? Nope. Y is a non-metal. Yes, chlorine is a non-metal and magnesium is a metal. Yes. Okay. All the metals form basic oxides. Yes. Actually, metals form basic oxides and non-metals form acidic oxides. Okay. Which of the following metal is an metals form an amphoteric oxide? Amphoteric in the sense both, right? Which can form both basic oxides and acidic oxides. Sodium will form Na2O, which is purely basic. Calcium can form CaO, which is also basic. Aluminium can form Al2O3, which can act both as an acid and a base. Okay, copper oxide, this is formed. Okay, so it is third option. Now, generally, non-metals are not conductors of electricity. Okay, which of the following is a good conductor of electricity? Is it diamond, is it graphite, is it sulfur, or is it fullerene? So it's graphite. Okay, we know that graphite has lone pair of electrons, which can conduct the electricity. So yeah, now electrical wires have the coating of an insulating material. Yes, because if you touch them directly, you'll get shock. So they need to be insulated. The material generally used is it sulfur, is it graphite, is it PVC, or all can be used? It's PVC. You know this if you have read the textbook. Graphite, of course, not because it will conduct electricity, right? That's common sense. It will conduct electricity, and if you keep graphite as surrounding material, then you will also get shock. So this can't be used. Of course, sulfur is also not used. So all of these is also wrong. PVC is the right answer. Okay. Yes. Next, 34. Uh-oh. Yeah. Which of the following non-metal is a liquid? Usually, non-metals are what? Non-metals are usually solids or gases. But which one is a liquid? Is it carbon? Is it bromine? Is it phosphorus or sulfur? It is bromine. I'll just give you one small thing. That is fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. What is this? This is the halogen series. Start from down. Iodine is a solid. Bromine is a liquid. Chlorine is gas. Okay, so this non-metal is a liquid. Okay, yes. Next. Which of the following can undergo a chemical reaction? Which of them can undergo a chemical reaction? Magnesium sulfate with iron, zinc sulfate with iron, magnesium sulfate with lead, and copper sulfate with iron. So we know this reaction, right? So the blue color turns into, green color. There'll be depositions and all of that. So this reaction happens. You can, of course, use the reactivity series as well.